Well, hello, good morning, happy Thursday. I am here with you for Spa Marketing School, and today we are talking about how to delegate without losing control. And if you are afraid that no one can do it as good as you, that is going to end up biting you in the butt. That is going to end up making you the bottleneck of your business. So, what I want to go through with you today is to show you how to delegate, how to protect your standards, how to communicate effectively with your team members, whether they are contractors, whether they are employees. We want to make sure that we are communicating in the proper way to make sure that you can delegate to grow your business. All right, so you are not actually in control when you are doing everything yourself. And when we talk about the role of the CEO, the role of the founder, the role of the owner, there's so many other things that you need to be doing to grow the business. And I find that this is a gray area for a lot of providers. So when you start your business, you're typically a solo, you're in the room and you build your book, and eventually you expand, you hire other providers, maybe you hire a front desk, you're probably still in the room. Okay, so you're going through this whole process. However, you're only focusing on one division of your company. You're only focusing on the fulfillment. You're not looking at operations. You're not looking at HR. You're not looking at finance, sales and marketing, right? So there's these other areas, and that is even a level below getting yourself out there in the community, being the face of your company, being the visionary of your company, and creating the culture and the core values of who you are. So when you are doing everything yourself, you are just creating this illusion of control, but you're actually limiting yourself. So it's really important to understand that aspect, is that if you want to be able to truly grow, you can't have your hands in every single pot. So how do you do this, right? How do you communicate effectively the way to do something when so much of it is in your head because you were the one who started that process? It all comes down to systems. Okay, so what we're delegating to our team members is a system, not a task. All right. Instead of saying, could you cover the front desk today? You could say, here's our client check-in system. Here's our, all the SOPs for that particular thing. So when you're documenting within your SOPs, so there's a check-in system or a front desk system that has these different SOPs of how to do the different tasks that are at the front desk. So exactly what needs to be done, your opening and closing procedures, how it should be done, if they need help on how to check out a patient, what the end result should look like, and how to handle the most common problems. This is something that you're not going to just have this overnight, but what you can start doing now, even if you're a true solo, nobody else, start documenting the things that you're doing. So little by little, you will be able to pass off a system to a virtual assistant or to a front desk support. Okay. So then when we are training somebody on a system, we have what is called a training triangle. Okay. So the first part, you are going to train them. So you do the tasks, you go through the system, have them shadow you, have them watch, have them really take it in. We've got to see things multiple times to be able to process it, to be able to retain it. Okay. Then after you've gone through and done that, then you have them do the task and then you shadow them. Okay. And then what you're going to do is they are going to do the task and you are going to spot check. All right, so this can be over a week-long period. It can be over a 2-week-long period. It's just going to depend on the complexities of your spa, the systems that you are sharing with this individual that you're going to be delegating to. Okay, so you're going through, you're training them on the actual system. Now, what you need to do, and let me just zoom out here for a minute, because it's absolutely essential in order to operate a systems-based business that actually works, where people are using the systems. You need to have a project management software, and we recommend Monday.com. That is the one that for us has been the absolute best. And Monday.com, we have that broken into the different divisions of our company. So HR, operations, finance, sales and marketing, right? We've got fulfillment. We've got all of those broken down. And then we have the SOPs within the boards so that it's all there, super easy to use, step by step, turnkey, really, so that a brand new employee could come in. And while they wouldn't be able to do it as fast or efficient as a more seasoned employee, they would be able to figure it out step by step. Okay. And what you want to do when you're training a new person that you're going to be delegating to, whether this is a virtual assistant, whether this is a provider, whatever that looks like, you want to make sure that you are checking in with them. Okay, where are you winning? Where do you need support? Any feedback you want to share? You want to look at the results, right? The way that we get to a place, I might do something slightly different than a team member on my team would do, but we're able to get to the end result the same way. Super important there. And then you want to ensure that you are doing monthly trainings, quarterly system updates. Building a systems-based business is a lifestyle. It's not something that okay, in Q1, I'm going to get all my systems in place. You can focus on your systems, you can revise your systems, but they will, as you continue to grow and evolve, your systems are going to continue to grow and evolve. So it's really important that you're paying attention to that aspect as well. Mindset for the CEO. You've got to stop thinking, will they do this as good as me? And you've got to start focusing on, how can I pour into them? How can I create a system? How can I create a training so that they will do this better than me? Okay. It may take a long time, right? You may have 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience, and they're just starting out, so they're not going to get there. But with your expertise, can they get there faster, right? So really important to pour into your team and see and have the mindset of, how can I make them better than me? And then we want to continue to iterate, continue to check in. Remember those monthly check-ins, remember those quarterly check-ins, to ensure that you are all on the same page. Okay, so for you to succeed in delegating tasks and to feel like you're not losing control, remember to delegate a system. Okay, remember to train effectively on that system, where you do it first, then they do it, and then they're doing it with you spot checking the services, and then having those regular touch points to ensure that your systems are up to date and that they have the opportunity to get support from you if needed. Okay, so delegation is not about lowering your standards. It's about systemizing your excellence so that you can grow, so that you can step into the role of CEO and really start executing on those tasks that have really just been kind of by the wayside, not getting done. All right, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. This is actually our last spa marketing school for a little while. I don't know if they'll totally go away, but we next month are starting this really cool series called Laser Coaching. And we've been getting a lot of questions coming in, and through our DMs or through our contact us email box. And we wanted to kind of transition and move this series into a laser coaching series. So next week, I'm going to be coming on here and I'm going to be answering my first question. So we are taking questions submitted by spa owners, things that they want me to answer, and I am going to go live. I'm going to answer them. So they will likely apply to you and your business. They're a big hit inside of our coaching programs. People love laser coaching calls. So we wanted to share a little bit of insight with you in here. So stay tuned for that next week. And I hope you have an incredible weekend.